Who's your top five?
Top five. Top five. Top five.
I am the greatest.
Top five. Top five.
I am the greatest.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Hello and welcome to Resisting Boredom's Rank and File, where we are average people ranking movies and filing them on the internet. I'm Brandon Kaiser.
Josh Jessen.
Richard Buckner. Kid Coleman Cole.
We're going to look ahead to the next week when we do this. So next week, Hitman Agent 47 comes out. So today we will be looking at the top 5 video game movies of all time. And you know what? A couple years down the road, maybe we'll do this again. That's how this show
Probably
works.
have a better list.
We're each going to run down our... Yeah, exactly. Because we'll have like Warcraft and Assassin's Creed and shit. Anyways, we're each going to run down our personal top 5s, and then we are going to mathematically score them and add them up, and based on their point totals, come up with an actual top 5. If there are any ties, I don't even know if that's possible. Maybe we'll do a little quick forum where people will argue the sides of which movies are tied, just figure out which goes where. Maybe
Breaking new ground.
Figure that out if it happens. So, without any further ado, let's start going over our top 5 video game movies. Kid, start us off. What are your top 5 video game movies? You should have had your phone ready for this.
Should I go up a list or down a list?
First, we'll start at 5 and go
Number
down.
5?
Yeah.
Are we going to have them do all of them?
Yeah, we're each going to do our list. This is quick, just say the movies.
Alright. Starting with number 5.
I'm ready.
Double Dragon. Number 2. Sorry, not 2. 4.
4.
Resident Evil.
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
Okay, now like
This is closest to the
Extinction
game.
or Afterlife or anything?
Number 3 was Mortal Kombat. Number 2, Wing Commander.
Whoa! Alright, hey, it's his list!
And number 1, Street Fighter.
Which
Jean-Claude
one?
Van Damme.
Yeah, the Jean-Claude
Yeah,
Van
come
Damme,
on.
Raul Julia one, not the Legend of Chun-Li.
I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna stick my foot so far up Bison's ass.
Okay.
Every Bison wannabe
Great.
is gonna feel it.
Great, we don't need quotes. Richard, what is your top 5 video game
Alright,
movies?
so I haven't seen very many movies. So number 5, Doom. Number 4, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
What?
3.
That threw him off.
3, we'll go Resident Evil. 2, we'll go Final Fantasy, The Spirit Within.
Ooh, that's hitting that gray area. Whatever.
And
I'll allow it.
Advent Children, I think I would have accepted. But it's fine.
I don't remember which one I saw.
I'm fine with Spirits Within.
I saw Final Fantasy once I saw it. Alright, and finally number 1, we'll just go with Mortal Kombat.
Nice. Good choice.
I wonder what your number 1's going to be. Alright, my top 5 list is probably going to be very different, but we'll see. Number 5 for me, Mortal Kombat. Number 4, Doom.
No.
Number 3, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. 2, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. And number 1, Need for Speed.
Because he's the only person who really has seen Need for Speed. I'll be at this table, ask me in general.
Nah.
Thanks.
Here comes my top 5 list, which, after listening to all these top 5 lists, thank God you have me here to set the record straight. Alright, number 5, Double Dragon. Double Dragon's sweet. I don't give a shit who it is.
Sweet
Robert
is the way I
Patrick.
describe it, but okay.
Number 4, Tomb Raider. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the first one, starring Chris Berry, and then some broad with huge lips.
And Daniel Craig.
And Jorah
And
Mormont.
Daniel Craig. Who cares?
John
He
Voight.
was the villain.
And number 3, Persona 3,
3?
the movie 2, Midsummer's Night.
Yeah.
There's 3 movies. The second one is the best. It gets on the list. Number 2 is Advent Children, Final Fantasy Advent Children. I don't know why it didn't make anyone else's list. Maybe you forgot about it.
I forgot about it.
Can you tell me the story of Advent Children?
There's
That was my answer for why I didn't put it on my list.
Cloud runs around, Tifa punches someone.
Cloud's got herpes.
Sid was there.
No, Cloud's got herpes. Sephiroth's coming back.
No.
Everyone's not as strong as Cloud
The
was.
Genova cells have gotten into Lifestream. People are infected by it. There's a disease.
It is beautifully animated,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell you what happened in it.
I'll tell you what happens, and I don't agree with it, but considering the
Survivor.
pedigree of Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, just video game movies in general.
Yeah,
Eggs
that's
and
true.
wedge were there.
When we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
We're pretty much picking the best of crap.
I freaking forgot about
But that leaves the
Yeah, let's
only
get your number one.
honest, really good movie, Mortal Kombat. Done. The first Mortal Kombat movie.
Annihilation.
Not
Not
Annihilation.
Annihilation. Never Annihilation.
Except for Richard.
I haven't seen many movies, goddammit!
That was actually
You've
almost
seen
on
the
my
first one, right?
Wait, yeah. Okay, what's not on Richard's list then that could have been on his
Mortal
list?
Kombat, the first
Wait,
one.
did you ever
What's
see,
on my list?
did you ever see Tomb Raider?
It was. All right.
I think I've seen bits and pieces. I've never seen the whole thing.
Well, that still was enough to know it's better than Annihilation.
I wasn't a huge fan of Tomb Raider.
Alright,
I
fair
like
enough.
Tomb Raider. It's
Either
a
one.
decent movie.
I'm gonna add up the scores here. All right. So, coming back from our math, we have a couple ties. Let's begin, for the first time ever, our debates of what comes in at number 5, which right now is currently a tie between Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the original, and Resident Evil, the first one.
And so we're going to debate it out. And Tomb Raider had me and Josh both have it on our list, so we're going to be arguing for Tomb Raider. Richard and Kit both had Resident Evil. They will be arguing for Resident Evil. You can decide in the comments, but we're going to come to some sort of a consensus hopefully at the end of this, and then we will tell you what was number 5 and what was number 4. We also have another debate we're going to have to go through after this, and then we'll quick do the list. So, we'll let them start. They're on that side of the table where we started. So guys, convince us that Resident Evil deserves to be on this list. Well, at 4.
It was actually incredible. It was very true to the game, actually, in which case a lot of game movies really weren't.
I loved playing as Mila Jovovich's character in the game.
Please, it was the story-wise.
This is a debate!
The story-wise, just in general.
Let
There
him,
was-
let him finish.
Oh, sorry, you guys said start with us. Sorry, I didn't realize that it was that kind of a debate. Where we
Okay.
just drunkenly yell over
Look,
each other.
I had something. I'm sorry. Continue.
It was a lot more true to the game than a lot
I love
of
the way
other
she
movies were.
drop kicked the dog.
There were a lot of
I'm sorry.
there were a lot of interesting and awesome
Let him
action
go.
scenes. It was the real first the first movie in like a fucking 6-movie series where they kept on knocking them out there with just more interesting action scenes and whatnot. Richard, jump in anytime you want now.
Oh, you know, I've only out of all the games, I've only played Resident Evil 2. So, yeah.
But the movie you did put the movie on your list. So tell us why you think it deserves to be 4.
Why it deserves to be 4?
Instead of 5.
Yeah.
It's really like
Yeah. Either way, it's on the list. But why is it 4 rather than 5?
Sorry, kid.
As James Purefoy
I'm almost willing to concede.
it was a survival horror movie, and I really enjoyed the first one, and I did enjoy every other movie that preceded it, for one reason or another.
There's movies that came out before it.
Followed it. Sorry. that followed it. It was they're all like just fun in their own little way, but I enjoyed them, and that's yeah. I don't really have much of.
You enjoyed them, but you really aren't.
I enjoyed the first
one
one too.
movie.
Hey, the one movie gave us the rest of them. So
Let's talk about Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
which was really. It was like a Indiana Jones, like a campier. It's kind of odd to say it's a campier Indiana Jones, but it kind of was. Like
I kind of would agree with that.
it wasn't fully. The premise isn't so ridiculous. Resident Evil's got a ridiculous zombie, and the movie, to be fair, like the weird. Let's go. There's a weird English robot thing, hologram. It's got an accent. We don't know why. There's a virus. Like that whole the whole Resident Evil concept. The whole movie.
based on his daughter.
The whole movie shit in general is just fucking weird and kind of stupid. This was just like. Sean Bean was in it. Was Sean Bean in it?
Resident Evil.
No,
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
In Tomb Raider?
Who was the English guy?
Daniel Craig. Is
Daniel Craig.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that was Daniel Craig.
James fucking Bond is in our movie. Okay.
I mean, it was just like
And
that-
Red Dwarf guy,
Chris Berry.
Chris Berry, is in our movie. All right. And then you have Angelina Jolie in her prime. This was at the height of her popularity.
I wouldn't even
and
say it was the
fame
height
and
of
everything.
popularity, but she was definitely still hot.
It solidified her there as like a big star.
She wouldn't have
Because we
gotten
can't-
this movie if she wasn't that popular.
Yeah. And our movie also.
I don't know if that's a point.
It didn't. Our movie. Look, our movie didn't have a 6-movie thing. Well, that's because yours were so cheaply made that they did make enough money to keep going.
Yeah,
Ours got a straight-up sequel with Gerard Butler in it because this one did so good and was such a good movie that they decided, hey, let's do another one. Now, that one maybe didn't work so great, but we're not arguing for that one.
The Resident Evil movies churn out like bad sci-fi made-for-TV movie stuff. They're just like, let's make another one.
I mean, it is, what's his name?
Let's make
Paul
another one.
W.S. Anderson directed these movies, the guy who did
Well,
Daredevil
you're not going to win 8 points.
and
for that.
Three Musketeers.
You're not going to win points for Daredevil?
No, for directors and writers for me.
Well, he's not a quality one, let's put it that way.
If it gets him to shut up, I concede.
I just
Look,
I'm sorry, but time travel and bad flashbacks just weren't doing it for me.
and I'm pretty sure like really
Do you not remember that
cheesy
scene?
fucking in.
I know what you're talking about. I never saw it that way, but okay.
Yeah.
There was this bad flashback with John Boyd. Like, I offered your father the same thing. Flashback. Join us. No. Bang. Why did you bother with that flashback?
Look, our movie was.
Why did you bother
first-
jumping off a wall and drop kicking a dog in the head?
Because you need extra force to drop kick a dog in the head.
Look, let's be
she's
honest.
like 90 pounds.
Let's be
She
honest.
is a-
Tomb Raider was the first legitimate attempt at making a great video game movie.
No, it wasn't.
Pretty much.
Mortal Kombat
Mortal
was.
Kombat.
Yeah.
I said great, but okay.
Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
This was the first time they put a big budget in it. They put big name, stars in it,
Mila
and
Jovovich? Oh, I know
no,
Angela.
we're arguing Tomb Raider. Yeah, we're not arguing their
She
shitty
wasn't
movie.
Hackers. Big budget. There you go.
Hackers isn't even.
What was she in before, like Tomb Raider?
What does
Like, her
Hackers have to
actors?
do with this?
She was
Other
in
than
No, this was,
Angelina Jolie's in it.
this was Angelina Jolie
Yeah.
after she had been in like name movies Angelina Jolie's been in. That's your thing.
After she was winning awards and shit.
There you go.
This is after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What movies was she winning awards for?
Gia.
I don't think it was after that.
Yes, it was.
No, she was.
Gia was like her breakout shit.
She was established at this
Her
point.
breakout role was in Hackers.
That's why it was really weird that she was in this.
No,
movie.
that's the. Let's look back and go. Oh, hey, look, Angelina Jolie was in Hackers movie.
It was really weird that she was in this movie because she had just finally like gotten like an award.
Notoriety.
Notoriety. She'd been notarized. Stamp. I mean, you look at Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil, and it's like, why was she in that movie?
Because she married the director.
Well, she was married the director.
Mila
She wasn't really doing anything.
Mila
else.
Jovovich was at least an interesting character. Like,
An interesting made-up character.
Angelina Jolie's Lara Croft was just like it was Angelina Jolie in every other fucking movie Angelina Jolie's been in.
I do have to.
No, she had an accent.
Hold on. Even if I don't agree with everything that Brennan said about Resident Evil, and I don't because he brings up weird things that I don't totally. I hate arguing on his side because it's kind of weird. I'll be honest. But he does have a really good point in that Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil, made-up character. Like, it's just part of. If you're going to make a game or a movie based on the game, Resident Evil just fucking went all off the fucking reservation. It doesn't really resemble anything that the game was about at this point.
I don't think Mila Jovovich is a master of unlocking.
She is not. That is true. If Barry had given her the paperclip and said, "Take this. It should be used for you, the master of unlocking," then that would have been one thing. But this movie was she's a made-up character. She drop kicks dogs. She becomes some sort of weird super god by like the fourth movie or something.
No, second.
It's
By the second movie. I'm sorry,
It's
but
weird.
it's not the game.
Really, I don't
It
know.
isn't
It
the
was
game,
entertaining.
and that's what
A lot of people don't
That's
want
great.
the story from the game because a lot of times that just gets twisted and horrified, like Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, also not like the game at all. So I don't understand your.
So anyway, that's-
what did you just argue? That doesn't make any sense.
Anyway, I think.
Okay. Anyways, do we even really need to go that far? Because Richard conceded like halfway through our
Hold on,
discussion.
Richard, you're basically the swing vote. We're not gonna, Kit isn't gonna change his opinion. We're not gonna change our opinion. Who are you gonna go with? Because if you don't change your opinion, then I guess we're at a stalemate, and then would we flip?
Take it.
Alright. So
I
there
mean,
you go.
look, Richard's heart wasn't even in this discussion. Okay, in this debate.
I wish I had Casey.
Well, you don't.
So
Maybe next time you will.
our number 5, resisting boredom, all-time video
Well,
game
no.
movie.
Let's figure out the other spots, and then we'll do a definitive countdown.
Well, we know what 5 is.
We do know that though, and we know what 4 is. But anyways, okay. The other tie that we ran into was between second and third place. We're trying to decide between Need for Speed and Street Fighter, Since me and Kit had these movies as our number one. Kit had Street Fighter, obviously, and I had Need for Speed.
Let's go this way. Brandon...
Oh, you want me to start?
Well, yeah, Kit had to lead the last debate, so as me and Richard are both out of this one, I think you have to convince me and Richard. You
Okay.
go. Need for Speed. How?
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 Because Need for Speed, I actually like Need for Speed. It's a movie that I don't own, but I would buy. Alright? It is Aaron Paul, coming right off of Breaking Bad. So you got someone trying to break out, and yeah, maybe it didn't make a ton of money. Breaking out bad. Anyways, Aaron Paul is good in this movie. He's going up against Dominic Cooper, Howard Stark himself. Excellent. Imogen Poots is the female lead in this movie. Also an excellent actress. I like this cast. It has Michael Keaton as a crazy racing announcer guy on a radio. Fucking awesome. It's Michael Keaton. This movie tried to do a more realistic, let's have a fun, cool car movie, kind of like Fast and Furious, but let's not do CG. This is all practical stuff in this movie. These are real cars, really crashing, and really doing all this stuff. It is stunt work. It is people making it because they love it. Alright? Again, none of these movies are amazing. So is Need for Speed an amazing movie? No. But it is a very good movie that I don't think gets enough credit. And I think more people need to see. Which is part of why I have to argue this, is because nobody saw it. So, Kit, I'm going to hear what you have to say about Street Fighter, and then maybe we'll talk some more.
They had just about every character from up till Super Street Fighter 2 in Street Fighter. They had fucking like a lot of big names at the time. Ming Na, who played Chun-Li. They had Jean-Claude Van Damme, who played Guile, and they even had the aforementioned Raul Julia, who played M. Bison, who was the villain of the story. And all the other characters, the smaller characters, were kind of interesting. Like, they actually had their own parts in the movie and everything like that. It was just one of those fun 80s movies when you're a kid that you just, 90s movies when you're a kid that had a bunch of like just action video games based on that. Like, I watched it in the theater as a kid. I loved the shit out of it. It was just fun. It was fun to watch. And Jean-Claude Van Damme just doing his awesome like kung fu shit. It was awesome as shit. Yeah, it was actually a pretty decent story, seeing as what they had to work with. Really, that like Street Fighter really didn't have a story until they their story mainly revolved around Ken and Ryu, and they just kind of changed it. So it was like, okay, everyone was fighting against M. Bison in Thailand, which made sense because that's where M. Bison was stationed in the Street Fighter 2 game. So yeah, just a bunch of over-the-top action. I love me over-top action.
Richard, have you...
Well, thank you for describing the movie to me, Kid, and not telling me why it's good, just describing things that happened in it.
That's a good thing. Richard, have you seen either of those movies?
We got some more debating we can do here, but that's
I played Need for Speed. It's a racing game.
Never seen either, and you've seen Street Fighter, obviously, but not Need for Speed. Okay.
If we're basing it on the fact of like what's more true to the game, are there any characters?
Well, we never determined. Well, Need for Speed is a racing game.
Yeah, so there's no real characters. You could have made it Cruising USA.
Which means they were open to actually have a decent story. Whereas Street Fighter was handcuffed by the video game story, which in a video game maybe is fantastic.
So
however, in a movie, maybe it doesn't work so much.
Were you playing Need for Speed and then like watch the movie and you're like, oh, it's that car that I saw. Oh, it's that fucking city, the street they were driving in. It's just,
well, yeah, I mean,
there's no nostalgia.
I recognize cars.
Any generic movie. They didn't need to put Need for Speed on other than to sell tickets.
I'm not arguing for nostalgia. Nostalgia doesn't make a great movie. Nostalgia can help a movie, but it isn't the reason why a movie's great.
No, but I'm saying like
your movie killed Raul Julia.
That movie was at least based on the game. This is just a generic movie with a Need for Speed sticker.
It is a black eye on Jean-Claude Van Damme's filmography. All right, he's got Time Cop and Bloodsport and shit, and then you go to Street Fighter and you're like, what was he thinking?
He turned down Mortal Kombat for Street Fighter.
It's because they originally Mortal Kombat was supposed to be a Jean-Claude Van Damme game, and then he was supposed to be. Yeah, actually, that's actually how it started out. So Mortal Kombat started out. It was supposed to be centric around Johnny Cage, who was actually supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then they changed it because they couldn't get him to work with it or some shit.
Your movie has terrible effects.
My
it does not
movie
hold
is
up at
based
all.
on the
it
game.
looks like garbage to watch.
Yours is just like a sticker slapped on a movie.
It looks like garbage. It does not hold up. And
Oh, sorry.
some
So
movies
garbage
are
compared to a movie
cheesy.
made like 2
Some-
years ago.
Some movies are cheesy in a good way. That's not Street Fighter though. This isn't Wolf Cop or Kung Fury or anything. This is just shit because it's shit.
That wasn't shit. That was a lot of just action. Over the top action, which is just what it is.
And also, it has so many freaking characters in it. You can't even like.
At least it
what are
has
you supposed to be rooting
characters
for? What
from
are you
the
supposed to be
game
doing?
in
You're
it.
jumping around 15 times.
At least it had characters in the game in it.
But it had no consistent plot. It was just, oh, let's jump over here and do it. Look,
It
look at
wasn't
these
consistent.
people.
What do you
Let's
mean
go over
it was
here and do these
consistent
people.
plot?
That's not anything. That's just jumping around 15 times.
They didn't jump around that much, except for the jump that like frickin' Jean-Claude Van Damme used to take down Raul Julia at the very end of the movie. Other than that, there was no fucking jumping.
Can we vote on this?
Yeah,
sure.
I vote Kit.
Wow, I vote for Brandon. Because that's only because I've seen Street Fighter, and it's one of the worst movies.
That's true.
I haven't seen it.
At least I've actually seen Street Fighter, so I can know how bad it is. You haven't even seen Need for Speed, so you don't know how. You
It's
don't know if
not
it's good or
a
bad.
Need for Speed movie. It's just a car.
What do you mean?
racing
It's
movie.
One, they're
people
still
racing.
Need for Speed as the title.
Hold on.
Need
hold
for
on,
Speed.
let's talk about-
The premise of the game is
Hold on.
people in a racing circuit. Yeah, what's the premise of the movie?
Here,
People
hold on.
in a racing circuit.
Brandon.
They could have made a Cruisin' USA movie.
Kit's main thing against the Need for Speed movie is there's not enough characters that you know and stuff like that. But let's look at this fucking Street Fighter movie where there's characters you know in fucking roles that don't make sense. Chun-Li is a news reporter. E Honda is her cameraman.
Covers. They were covers for them.
They weren't covers.
They said they were covers. They were just trying to get close to Bison. They said that in the movie.
There's these characters that you know, and like fucking T-Hawk shows up, and he's like the fucking he's like the water boy of like a football team or some shit. They just have characters.
Actually,
that are
T-Hawk was working for the UN
It's just-
with
Who the hell cares?
with Guile.
Let's get this shit wrapped up. I got pizza waiting at
How
home.
ridiculous
it's so bad.
is what you're arguing.
Based on the game, more based on the game than Need for Speed was.
That
Need for
doesn't mean
Speed
it's a
had
good movie, though.
More, it had more
They didn't. They
wiggle room.
They would have done a really good job if they didn't name the movie Need for Speed. They could've
Didn't you
named
argue?
anything
Didn't you argue
else.
before that the best movies don't have to follow the game as much?
Oh,
and now
yeah,
you're
I'm not
changing your tune because of Street Fighter?
Hey, I'm making your argument against you. You were making the argument that like I was like saying about like it doesn't need to follow closer, and here you are going with this movie that has nothing to do with
Yeah,
Need for
because I'm
Speed
explaining-
other than cars.
And
Because
your
I
movie
was-
has nothing to do with Street Fighter,
Yeah, it does.
other than the fact that there are characters.
Did they have a
named-
tournament?
Yeah.
I don't remember a tournament.
A lot of
wasn't even a tournament.
one-on-one fights. In
That's
random
not a
locations.
tournament.
In a lot of locations. Street Fighter was
In what?
Street Fighter random
That's
locations.
the same on budget.
Street Fighter wasn't like didn't have a tournament.
And
It was just
Street Fighter was a tournament. In
Wasn't
the
the
game.
whole thing
Mortal
of the game was
Kombat
a tournament?
No,
No, Street Fighter was a tournament. It
No,
was a
I
world
played the
fighting-
Yeah, it was like a
Street Fighter.
world tournament. That's why they
World
were
fighting
all over the
There
world.
was a world fighting
It was a
tournament.
world fighting
Was it?
tournament. Did you never read the instruction book?
It was a world fighting tournament.
Richard, have we swayed you?
Kent's never even read the instruction book to Street Fighter and has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
I played Street Fighter enough when I was a
He's
kid.
played a lot of it.
All right, you know what? If it's gonna get us to shut the fuck up and move on,
Wait, I don't like winning because Richard just wants to give up, but I'll take it.
I'll take it too.
So
next song.
Well, there isn't a next song.
Yep, because now we have.
Don't worry, I already ranked them because I knew what this was going to happen. So
We know what the top 5 is. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to go around and each one says one of these movies?
No,
Just fucking spit it
no,
out.
here it is.
All right.
At number 5,
Number 5.
Resident Evil. At number 4,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider. Was there a subtitle?
It's Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Lara
I
Croft
believe.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
At number 3, Street Fighter. Don't worry, Kit. It still made number 3.
it's still on the list.
even though only one person voted.
Much higher than it should have.
Much like Need for Speed, which made number 2, only one person voted for it. But at number 1, it made everyone's list. And at least 2 people's top. Mortal Kombat, the definitive video game movie. And it really is. I don't know how you can look at that movie.
I knew it was going to win.
There's no reason it shouldn't.
Look, it's not my number 1, but I accept it because of what it is. It is still a solid,
I don't think...
cheesy throwback movie.
Well, so my main comparison to Mortal Kombat has to be the Street Fighter movie.
Mortal Kombat's better than Street Fighter.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it is.
But you look at the two in Mortal Kombat, like they took their their world. Because, I mean, it's...
Wait, you just said yeah, it is. You put Street Fighter as your number 1.
Did I?
Yeah. You put Mortal Kombat as 3. If you...
Okay, so I am really justified now having Need for Speed win over
Yeah,
Street Fighter.
bastard.
Jesus, son of a... So, I don't know. What if we look at Mortal Kombat... They both have open plot lines for fighting games, but the Mortal Kombat movie, like... It embraced it.
It knew what it was.
It had its core characters. It made a solid plot, and it gave everyone a personality.
And Christopher Lambert.
And they kept it in, but maybe they fucked with it, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and shit. Like, there's maybe a little few things that like are weird about the movie, but ultimately it was still like an enjoyable story. Like people coming to terms. They all had their story arcs, and at the end of the movie, you were for the characters, and it was all like great. Then you look at Street Fighter, which was bad. Had like no fucking relevance to any of the shit that came out of the game itself.
And it didn't have Christopher Lambert.
Look at you have the CPR suit. You have like fucking the camera crew fucking
I
fighter
should put on
people.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation like you.
It's just
That was
so bad.
Jax had metal arms.
No.
Metal fucking arms.
Annihilation
Mortal
was
Kombat
terrible.
Annihilation is so bad.
is really
It had Nighthawk
bad.
doing the vision quest
Animality.
for the
it's so bad. Annihilation is so bad, but
It was shitty, but like I said, I didn't
but the
have much
first
to
Mortal
choose
Kombat
from.
movie is like
Sub-Zero's brother.
I think even if you take away how campy it is, even if you don't look at that, I think as a like adaptation of a video game, you don't get much better than that because it was like a perfect adaptation from like a story-like fighting game. They took it and they made it a really good single plot movie. Sequel aside,
And an awesome soundtrack.
ignoring the
It did have an awesome soundtrack.
like
Oh my
Mother's
God,
Day
sorry.
Out. Yeah.
but
We all agree on that. It had
you
an
can
awesome
take that
soundtrack.
away, you can take away any sequel potential just as a single standalone movie, and they added that last scene as like a
The
they were like,
cliffhanger thing, yeah.
because they thought maybe they could get a sequel out of it. If
They
you
did.
take that away,
And they did, and they shouldn't have.
and they should.
They did. It
But
was
it's just a really solid, straight alone movie, and I don't see how can anyone look at Mortal Kombat and say it's kind of campy, but I think it's a really good kung fu movie and a really good standalone video game adaptation.
All right, so with
and
that,
obviously we all agreed too because
we all put it on our list.
it was all on our list.
So with that, you've heard our opinions. You've heard our definitive list of the top 5 video game movies of all time.
I have one more thing to point out.
Yes.
While we were talking, I have calculated 5 movies that made everyone's list. It may not have been our top 5, but here are the 5 movies, and there are only 5 that made everyone's list. Or at least more than one other person. Not everyone, but at least.
Okay.
They are Mortal Kombat, obviously made everyone's. Tomb Raider, you and me.
Double
Double Dragons, me and Kit. Resident Evil, Kit and Richard. And Doom, Kit and Richard.
No, me
I
and
didn't have-
Or me and him.
Me and Richard.
There you go. So those are the only 5 movies that made multiple lists.
Carl Urban, man.
Doom, unfortunately, didn't make the top 5.
Carl Urban.
Carl.
And, I'm blanking on her name. Gone
Chick
Girl.
from Gone Girl, yeah.
Yeah, Gone
There you
Girl.
go. Those are
The
the-
Rock. There's a fucking rock in it.
Well, they may not be our top 5. Those are the 5
And The
movies
Rock is
that
a
made
bad
multiple
guy,
lists.
which we don't get anymore, which is great.
Celia Hatchery.
What?
Francine Longfeather.
All right.
Rosamund
So-
Pike.
There you go.
It's Rosamund
I was
Pike.
helping.
I don't know how that worked, but it did.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, be sure to comment below. Tell us what your top 5 video game movies are. You probably have a completely different list. So, like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Except for
and,
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's definitely on your number 1, obviously.
Right? Might not be.
It should be.
Anyways,
Street Fighter. Even if it's Street Fighter, eventually you find out that you were wrong.
eventually you change your mind.
Because you admit that Mortal Kombat's
I
best.
still know what the worst video game movie is.
Super Mario Brothers.
No. House of the Dead.
I never saw it, so I don't.
I saw it in the theater, and it was nothing but like 360 shots of people shooting guns.
In the Name of the King gets point because it has a Blind Guardian soundtrack.
Never saw it again.
Yeah, I actually did enjoy Name of the Name of the
I never
King.
saw the Name of the King.
It's not good.
I don't know if I've ever seen a
But
new
it does
Big
have Ray Liotta.
I don't know if I've ever seen
Did
a
it
new
also
Big
have
movie.
Burt Reynolds and Jason Statham?
Burt Reynolds and Ray Liotta.
I don't think I've seen a new Big
It had a
movie.
big cast.
You've never seen it? Well,
I don't think so.
lucky you.
Anyways, until next time, find your own ways of resisting boredom.
Jacking, it's good stuff.
And it's probably not with these movies, but you can watch better movies.
Hey, you can always resist boredom with these.
Yeah, they do their job.